Coming up on Sportsource, Kirby Smart's son trades helmets for rackets, how Athens Academy is building a tennis ace, and we go one-on-one with North Oconee's Noah Allen as he reflects on his journey from Titan standout to becoming an Ole Miss Rebel. Plus, after attending G-Day last week, we asked fans what Georgia football's fourth quarter anthem should be. Sportsource starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Sportsource. I'm your host, Aiden Daly. First up today, a different kind of spotlight on the Smart family. Kirby Smart's son is making waves, not on the football field, but on the tennis court. Sportsource reporter Jack Cooney joins us now and shares with us how Weston is finding his own path in a very different sport than the one his dad is famous for.
Thanks, Aiden. In the Smart family, football is a big deal, and game days in Athens are super important. But Weston Smart is doing something different. Instead of wearing a helmet, he's picking up a tennis racket.
Weston Smart discovered that tennis was really his thing. He's the team captain and wants to take Athens Academy back to the state championship game this season. But Smart isn't just a great tennis player. He also wants to make his own name in a family that loves football. That's not easy when everyone in Athens, Georgia knows the Smart name. Smart is the oldest son of Kirby Smart, Georgia's head football coach. Most people thought he would follow in his dad's football footsteps, but Smart says he found his passion in another sport thanks to his mom.
I don't know. My mom played tennis, like Alta tennis, all the time, and I just started playing at the country club where I grew up in Tuscaloosa, and so I don't know. I learned from that and just kept playing, and then after a while, it's like I played all the sports when I was younger, but tennis just stayed.
He can't change his last name, but he also doesn't want to. Even though his dad is a famous coach, he's trying to be his own person. Head coach Bo Hodge says while at Athens Academy, Smart has grown into a strong leader and become his own person.
You know, as a freshman, he was quiet and shy and a little uncertain of things. And, now he's got a voice, he's talking, he's one of the captains this year. And so, I expect some big things for him, but it's been great to kind of watch him grow.
Coach Hodge isn't the only one who sees how much he has grown as a leader. His teammate, Alex Hollenbeck, says Smart works hard when he's out there on the court and always cheers his team on.
I think he works really hard in tennis. He goes to the gym a lot. I remember when he was saying, I'm so slow. So because of that, he went to the gym like all summer and went and worked out like every day. So he's a really good athlete. I feel really good about Weston leading the team. I feel he's a great leader. I think that he's like, since he's the number one guy, I think he'll bring us all up. So, yeah.
Smart is cool with the attention his famous last name brings. Growing up in a family that loves sports taught him a lot of important things, making him a good tennis player and a good person off the court. The team lost in the state championship last season, but Smart is determined to lead his team to a championship for the seniors.
It would be awesome, I think. It'd be fun. And we have a lot of guys graduating this year. It'd be great to give them a state championship the last year. So,
Weston Smart aims to continue playing tennis at the collegiate level, and his commitment and work ethic in doing so is clear. Reporting for the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, I'm Jack Cooney with Elizabeth Isaacson.
And not only is his last name Smart, he really is smart. Weston, a junior at Athens Academy, just got a perfect score of 36 on the ACT, the highest score you can get. His school shared the news on social media, and it's just one more reason people are cheering him on. Back to you, Aiden.
Thanks, Jack. Coming up next, it's a clash on the diamond this weekend as number 23 Georgia faces off against number 20 Ole Miss in a pivotal SEC softball showdown. To break down what's at stake, I'm joined by Sportsource analyst Ansley Gavlak. Let's dive in.
That's right, Aiden. Number 23 Georgia hosts number 20 Ole Miss in the Bulldogs' final series at Jack Turner Stadium this weekend. With the SEC tournament quickly approaching, who will rise to the occasion and take the series win? We'll be right back to break it all down.
Welcome back to Sportsource. Last night, the Bulldogs fell to the Rebels in a high-scoring game to kick off the weekend. Let's start there. Ansley?
That's right, Aiden. The night was filled with big bats, but left a lot to be desired when it came to pitching and defense overall. Ole Miss was down 8-2 at the start of the third inning, but made a stunning comeback with not one, but two grand slams. The Bulldogs pitchers just couldn't take the pressure, executing only 3 strikeouts across all 7 innings. The Rebels didn't perform much better with only 5 strikeouts. The final score was 20-11 and marked the most runs Georgia softball has allowed in its program history. For Ole Miss, the win marked its largest comeback in SEC play since 2007.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack here. Well, let's take a step back for a second. Both the Bulldogs and the Rebels enter this weekend coming off conference series losses, where each lost 2 of 3 games. Georgia dropped the series to an unranked Auburn, while Ole Miss fell to number 6 Florida at home. How do these matchups translate to this weekend's series at the Jack?
Both the Bulldogs and the Rebels had extremely explosive offensive performances last weekend. Georgia notched 37 hits throughout its 3 games, outperforming Auburn's 23 hits, but ultimately couldn't capitalize with runners on the bags. The Bulldogs lost Game 1 off of a walk-off homer and again in Game 3 off of a walk-off grand slam to win the series. In Oxford, the Rebels snatched Game 3 after Elijah Binford's 4th-inning grand slam was too much for Florida to come back from. After last night, the Rebels have hit 3 grand slams in the past 2 games, while Georgia's pitching staff has allowed 3 grand slams in the past 4 games. That's a lot of grand slams. In all 3 games last weekend, the Rebels took the lead first, but just couldn't hold on to it in Games 1 and 2.
Scoring early is something I wanted to touch on. The Rebels tend to strike first, and last night proved no different. They were able to walk in 2 runs in the first inning. But Georgia is also known for getting on the board early. 53 of Georgia's 236 runs this season have come in the first inning, which is 22% of their runs. The Bulldogs are 16-4 in games where they have scored in the first inning, meaning that if Georgia wants to pull out a series win, getting on board first will be key. Who are some of these players on Georgia's offense that are leading the way?
That's right, Aiden. Getting the bats going early is a must. One of Georgia's bats that has been extremely hot this season is junior Jaden Goodwin. Goodwin leads the team with a .364 batting average, .652 slugging percentage, 51 hits, and 94 total bases. She accounted for 6 hits against Auburn last weekend, including a home run in Saturday's Wood. Goodwin having a good weekend will be a key aspect if Georgia wants to win.
After losing standout players from last year's NCAA Super Regional team, such as Jada Kearney, Sydney Kuma, and Sarah Mosley, there was a question mark coming into this season of who would fill these holes. Who are some of the newer faces that have stepped up this season?
One of those players is junior Tyler Ellison. After receiving just 34 at-bats in her first 2 seasons as a Bulldog, she has emerged into a key asset on the team this year. She's batting .345 in SEC play, which is the highest of all the Bulldogs.
Let's move on to the reasons why Ole Miss may be able to take the series. There's one name you can't talk about Ole Miss's success without, Aaliyah Binford. You mentioned that she hit a walk-off grand slam last weekend, but to make matters even more impressive, she did so after pitching 7 innings and hitting a double in Saturday's game. It's also worth mentioning that she tied up the Rebels' loose ends last night, too.
That's right, Binford is a critical dual threat. She's batting .353 with 12 doubles and 43 RBIs, while also balancing a 3.05 ERA through 17 appearances in the circle. She made it into the Rebel history books last month after throwing the program's first solo no-hitter since 2014. Aside from Binford, Rebel Miley Guacchino has emerged as one of the top freshman pitchers in the nation and is an early candidate for National Freshman of the Year. She broke the Rebels' single-game strikeout record in February with 19, and she hasn't slowed down since. She enters the weekend with 159 strikeouts and a 2.57 ERA.
Georgia seems to rely mostly on 2 pitchers. What do you know about these 2?
The Bulldogs' 2 aces this season have been California transfer Randy Rolling and North Carolina transfer Lily Backus. Rolling sits at a 3.54 ERA, while Backus isn't far behind with a 3.75. Combined, the 2 have recorded 180 strikeouts this season.
In a classic SEC rivalry where the Bulldogs lead 53-17 all time, will the Rebels keep rolling on last night's momentum, or will Georgia rally to win the series?
Although Ole Miss's pitching staff will be hard to compete against, if Georgia's bats are hot, can get on the board early, and can capitalize with runners on base, I think they could put up strong enough of a fight to split the series tonight. But when it comes to Game 3, the Rebels' recent offensive surge might be too much to contain. I think Ole Miss will take the series.
Thanks, Ansley. We'll see what happens tonight at Jack Turner Stadium. Coming up on Sportsource, we talk with one of North Oconee's finest. Noah Allen is making waves on the field and headed toward the next chapter of his baseball journey. From Titan standout to future Ole Miss Rebel, his story is one you won't want to miss. Later, we asked fans what Georgia football's fourth quarter anthem should be. Don't go away. Welcome back to Sportsource. It's no secret that North Oconee's baseball team has been dominant this season. On Tuesday, the Titans won 9-2 in the first round of their playoff series against Eastside. Sports analyst Frankie Hennessy talked with one of the star players on the Titans team to find out how they've kept winning. Frankie?
Thanks, Aiden. When it comes to North Oconee, the culture is what really sets the program apart. I got to chat with senior pitcher Noah Allen to find out just what keeps him and his team going and what comes next after his high school days are over.
So, my first question, of course, is what is your name and what do you do here?
Hi, my name is Noah Allen. I'm a senior here at North Oconee High School. I'm a right-handed pitcher.
So, Noah, how has y'all's season gone so far?
It's gone awesome. I think we've definitely grown as a team, both on and off the field. The leadership's been really good here towards the end, which is where you want it to spark up. I think it's just been a lot of team wins. It's not been like on somebody's back the whole time, so I love it.
And how has your pitching been so far this season?
It's been pretty good. I feel like I've gotten better every outing, and like every inning I pitch, I feel like I just get a little bit better. Definitely trying to take like step by step, like game by game. Definitely trying to take one little snippet from each game and build off of it.
So y'all are nearing the end of your regular season now and going into the postseason. What is your hope for how the rest of the season goes?
Honestly, I just hope it's just us versus us, like that kind of mentality. I feel like I've said it 100 times now to somebody. But no, yeah, it's just us versus us, the team mentality. Then I say just like enjoying the process because it's definitely like the end of the year. You know, this is probably the last time, you know, or this is the last season like the 2025 team will be together. So just taking it one game at a time, one at bat at a time, one pitch at a time.
How have things changed around here since you were a freshman?
Nothing has changed. The culture's still the same, mentality's still the same. Eat, sleep, work your butt off in the weight room, come out, be a dog, work out. That's it.
What comes next for you after your high school career?
Yeah, hopefully we're going to Ole Miss. We're going to ball out. Coach Mangrum has got me a program set up, walking in there when I get over there this summer. So go over there, play baseball at Ole Miss, or hopefully enter the draft, get drafted at some point.
What do you hope your legacy at North Oconee is?
Just the person I am. I mean, yes, you want the whole, oh, he was a good baseball player and stuff like that. But honestly, it's just how I affect my teammates in just a positive way. Just my footprint.
Awesome. Well, that is all the questions I have for you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, I'm Frankie Hennessy.
As the Titans continue their playoff run tonight, I'll certainly be interested to see what the future holds for them. Back to you, Aiden.
Thanks, Frankie. I'm looking forward to seeing how Noah and the rest of the Titans do in the playoffs. Coming up on Sportsource, do you wish you could be in charge of the music at Sanford Stadium? We asked fans what songs they'd play if they had the chance. Stick around and see what they had to say. Welcome back to Sportsource. The fourth quarter at Sanford Stadium is one of the most electric moments in college football, and some would argue the music makes it. Sportsource reporter Jet Rawls hit the streets to ask fans, if you could pick a song to play in the fourth quarter, what would it be? Jet?
Thanks, Aiden. When the phone lights are on and Krypton is playing, Georgia fans are getting ready to watch their team finish the game out strong. But what song would get them hyped for the fourth quarter? I asked a few fans to find out. So if you could change the fourth quarter song to any other song, what would you change it to?
Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand.
And what about that gets you hyped?
It's just iconic in every way. I don't know.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. All right, so we're asking people, if you could change the fourth quarter song at UGA football games, what would you change it to?
It'd be Win by J-Rock.
Why is that?
Because we got to win. That's why we play, right? That's it.
That's it. That's all we need. All right, so we're asking people, if you could change the fourth quarter hype song during Georgia football games, what would you change it to?
I would change it to Nokia by Drake.
I agree.
And what makes it so hype?
Just listen to it. It's great.
So if you could change the fourth quarter hype song to any other song, what would you change it to?
Surfin' by Kid Cudi.
And what about that is so hype?
The beat, it can sync up with the crowd very well. It would be very hype.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so we're asking people, if you could change the fourth quarter hype song to start the fourth quarter, what would you change it to?
I would do Give Me Everything by Pitbull because we're a second half team. I need them to give me everything in that fourth quarter.
That's a good answer. So if you could change the fourth quarter song for football games to get hype, what would you change it to?
I would do Beethoven's Fifth Symphony.
What about that gets you hyped?
It's very chill, and when it's fourth quarter, it's the end of the night. You just want to kind of relax at that point.
Okay. All right, so we're asking people if you could change the football fourth quarter hype song, what would you change it to?
For My Dogs by Waka Flocka.
What about it makes it so hype?
Because it's for my dogs, and we're dogs.
From rock and rap hits to even classical music, dog fans have a lot of variety to get them hyped. Back to you, Aiden.
Thanks, Jet. Those were a lot of good songs to choose from. Whether it's Krypton or something new playing, one thing's for sure. Bulldogs fans will always bring the energy. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of Sports Source. I'm your host, Aiden Daly. Have a good weekend, y'all.
Coming up on Sportsource, Georgia men's tennis wrapped up the regular season and is bouncing into postseason play. And the Southeastern Conference dominates college baseball this season, for better or for worse. Plus, with the spring football transfer portal now open, who do Georgia fans want to see between the hedges next season? Sportsource starts now. Welcome to Sportsource. I'm your host, Kaylin Vidal. We're kicking things off today with Georgia men's tennis, as the Bulldogs set their sights on the postseason in what's shaping up to be a defining and dynamic season of change. Sportsource reporter Wesley Branch has more. Wes?
Thanks, Kaylin. Georgia men's tennis just wrapped up the regular season last weekend and shifted its focus to the SEC and NCAA tournament. But for a historic program like the Bulldogs, this postseason means a little bit more. It's year one for new head coach Jamie Hunt, who was a two-time national champion when he played at Georgia almost 2 decades ago. After taking over the program from his head coach Manny Diaz, the Bulldogs have their sights set on a deep postseason run and proving that they're the same Georgia, even in a new era. Heading into this season, Georgia's men's tennis team was in an unfamiliar spot. For just the second time ever and first since 1988, they would have a new head coach at the helm. However, that head coach was a familiar face. Jamie Hunt, a former Bulldog player and associate head coach, took over the program following the retirement of Manny Diaz. Diaz, the winningest head coach in SEC history, led Georgia for 36 seasons, earning 4 national titles. On February 27, 2024, Hunt fulfilled his dream of being the head coach of the program that he has called home for so long.
Well, it's a dream come true. I mean, this is home. I spent the greatest 4 years of my life here as a player and had incredible memories. And it was always a dream of mine to lead this program after Manny. And when that announcement came out, it was just certainly one of the happiest days of my life after getting married, obviously, and the birth of my kids. So just a tremendous day for me.
The transition from Hunt to Diaz was seamless, according to senior Thomas Paulsell. Hunt's familiarity with the players and program helped ease the move from being the associate head coach to the leader of the program. His contagious enthusiasm played a role as well.
Yeah, I mean, people that know Jamie will say he's the most positive guy you'll ever meet, and that's so true. He comes every single day to work with a positive attitude and the most energy you'll ever see. You'll be like, how many cups of coffee has he had? But that's just him. And that's been probably the biggest change, just the energy around the program, and it's amazing.
Although it's a new era of Georgia men's tennis, Hunt and his team are determined to show that the standard is still the same. With 42 total SEC championships and 6 national championships in program history, the Bulldogs are eager to show that they're the same Georgia.
Yeah, we just want to get Georgia back to the standard that it was, like the winning championships, winning SECs, competing for national titles. That's my goal every single day. We come to work, practice every single day, working our butt off, and we just want to compete for national titles.
Paulsell is one of 4 seniors on this Bulldog team and one of 2 members that remains from the 2023 squad that went 23-7 and won the SEC regular season championship. His leadership and performance on the court helped lead Georgia to a 15-10 regular season record and number 7 seed in the SEC tournament. With the focus now on the postseason, the number 24-ranked Bulldogs will await their regional assignment for the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament in May once the SEC tournament wraps up. They understand that in this part of the season, the mindset shifts once again.
Well, the urgency certainly kind of ramps up. I mean, it's kind of do or die time. So you want to take all the lessons that you've learned throughout the year and look to apply them. But the urgency certainly ramps up heading into postseason play.
For this year's Georgia team, there is no shortage of belief that they are capable of making a run in the postseason and showing that they're still one of the nation's premier programs. They just have to apply that urgency and put what Coach Hunt described as a few things together.
So we're certainly capable of it, and we've just got to put a few things together. We've been a few points short of some really important wins, big wins, and so we just got to tighten some things up. Play a little bit freer in some big moments, trust ourselves, and play aggressive.
For the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, I'm Wesley Branch. As Hunt and his team prepare for do-or-die time, they lean on the lessons learned in a tough non-conference schedule and strong SEC to get them over the hump of last year's first-round exit in NCAAs. But regardless of the outcome, Georgia is insistent on showing everyone that nothing has changed with Hunt at the helm. Back to you, Kaylin.
Thanks, Wes. It's clear the Bulldogs are locked in under Coach Hunt's leadership and ready to make a statement this postseason. Coming up on Sportsource, the Southeastern Conference is taking over college baseball. Sportsource analyst Kylie Sharp joins me now with more.
Kaylin, the SEC has had a dominant start to the season, but is that a good thing for the Diamond sport? We'll break it down after the break.
Welcome back to Sportsource. The SEC has been a powerhouse this season in pretty much every sport. Sportsource analyst Kylie Sharp joins me now to break it down further. Kylie?
That's right, Kaylin. Currently, 6 of the top 10 teams in college baseball are from the SEC, according to D1Baseball.com. Since week 1, at least one SEC team has been in the top 5, showing how dominant the conference has been this season. And if that wasn't enough, there hasn't been a single week this season that an SEC team wasn't the best team in the country, with teams like LSU, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Texas trading off that mark.
Kylie, it's clear the SEC has been absolutely dominating the rankings this season, but it makes me wonder if the conference always had this kind of power in college baseball, or is this more of a recent surge?
The SEC has proven to be a dominant force both recently and historically. The conference has won 25 national championships since 1947 and has had an appearance in 13 more beyond the ones they won.
Whoa, that's a lot of titles. But are those championships mostly from their recent or past success?
While there were some in the past, the 2000s are really when the SEC baseball started to pick up. The last 5 champions have all come from the SEC, and the last 4 runners-up, the SEC. The SEC also made history last season with an impressive 11 teams being selected for the tournament. Since 2000, the SEC has won 13 championships. It's clear that Omaha has been home to the SEC for a while.
Well, Kylie, it's clear the conference has established itself as a powerhouse, especially over the last couple of decades. But does all that success at the college level carry over to the pros? Are MLB scouts noticing?
SEC players are definitely catching scouts' eye. While the MLB teams frequently draft players out of high school, the SEC still had 7 players go in the first round of last year's draft. The 2024 draft class was headlined by former Georgia Bulldog and Golden Spikes winner Charlie Condon, going 3rd overall. But they don't only get drafted high, they perform well too. The 2024 Rookie of the Year, Paul Skeens, was a standout on the 2023 LSU team that won the national championship.
So not only are they getting drafted high, but they're making an impact at the pro level. Just look at Monday night. Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz, who were teammates on that LSU team, faced off in the Pirates versus Nationals game. Skeens was the #1 pick in the 2023 draft, and Cruz went right behind him at #2. That says a lot about the level of talent coming out of the SEC. But with so many elite programs in one conference, how does any one team manage to stay on top?
It's a good question to ask, Kaylin. Players are choosing to play for an SEC team for both the legacy of winning and the preparation for the MLB. But with all this talent in the SEC, cannibalization is bound to occur. This season especially has shown just how much can get shaken up with this much talent in one division. Recently, unranked Texas A&M knocked off #1 Tennessee, dropping them to 5 in the polls. And Georgia won the series against #1 Arkansas after getting swept by Texas.
That kind of internal competition must be intense. Does all that back and forth help the SEC overall or make it harder for teams to stand out?
Honestly, Kaylin, it's a toss-up. Teams that have historically been dominant, like last year's runner-up Texas A&M and Final Four finalist Florida, have been struggling to find wins so far this season. It's a testament to how spread out the talent has become and just how competitive any SEC team can be on any given day. but it also gives some cushion for teams when they take a loss. The top 10 have been rotating and shifting, with SEC teams rising and falling constantly, with wins and losses being traded off.
I'm definitely keeping my eye on how things unfold as we get closer to tournament time. With that much unpredictability, it feels like we're in for an exciting finish.
I agree, Kaylin. This season in the SEC can easily be seen as a preview of June. With top teams like Texas, Arkansas, LSU, and Georgia trading wins and losses, it seems the team that hits their stride at the right time will end up on top. The road to Omaha runs through the SEC, but it might just eat its own along the way. Back to you, Kaylin.
Thanks, Kylie. Coming up on Sportsource, Georgia fans share which college football players they want to be Bulldogs. Don't go away yet. Welcome back to Sportsource. The spring football transfer portal officially opened on Wednesday, and speculation about potential departures from Georgia's roster are already heating up. But after G-Day last Saturday, head coach Kirby Smart made it clear. He's focused on the players who want to be at Georgia, not the ones who don't. Sportsource reporter Skylar DeLuca spoke to Georgia fans to see who they would want to see in Athens soon. Skylar?
That's right, Kaylin. The transfer portal is all over the place, and there's no telling where some of these players will end up next college football season. I hit UGA's campus to find out which stars students would love to see gear up for the Dogs next year. Here's what they had to say. The transfer portal is wild. If you were to steal one player from any college football team to join the Dogs next season, who would you pick and why?
Arch Manning, because he's the greatest college player of all time.
I would take Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State. Just make our receiver room just even stronger for this season.
Let's pull him out of the draft and bring Travis Hunter.
Why?
He went to my high school and he's pretty good, so might as well run it back.
If you could steal someone from any college football team to join the Dogs next season, who are you picking and why?
I would say Arch Manning just because he's awesome.
I choose Arch Manning because we were supposed to get him in 21, and we got the opportunity. I think he'd flourish here, you know?
If you were to steal one player in college football to join the Dogs next season, who are you choosing and why?
I would say Jackson Dart, so we have more options for quarterbacks.
Probably take Jeremiah Smith, just, super athletic, great player. Could really use him on our team.
Probably Jeremiah Love, because he's a great running back.
I think I would choose Arch Manning because he's beautiful and sexy. Truly. That's the only reason. I think we need a little bit more eye candy, honestly.
Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State. I think he's really good. Should be a great addition to the team. So, Jeremiah Smith.
I think I got to pick Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State. I think he's one of the best receivers in college football. So, yeah, kind of need him. That's really it.
Thank you. You heard it here. Arch Manning and Jeremiah Smith are the fan favorites to join the Dogs. With the transfer portal heating up, we'll have to wait and see if any of those dreams come true. Back to you, Caitlin.
Thanks, Skylar. The transfer portal has definitely become a game changer in college football, and fans won't have to wait too much longer to see which Bulldogs are coming and going. With just 1 week until the portal closes, the next few days will be big. Well, from Georgia tennis to SEC baseball to all the latest transfer news, we've got it covered. Stay with us. Sportsource returns to wrap up after the break. This is a special goodbye as this is our team's last show. While Sportsource officially ends for the season next Friday, this is our team's final episode, and we all wanted to say thank you. Thanks so much to the UGA and Athens area athletes and coaches for allowing us to tell your stories, and to our audience for tuning in each week, supporting student journalism, and letting us grow as storytellers. That's a wrap for us. Thank you and goodbye.